is your trainer here. We are now ready to start. A very good morning and good evening to all our participants to the demo on SAP HANA. I believe the screen is visible to all of you. All right, so we are ready to start. We have a slideshow first to understand the list of the topics that will be actually covered in the training program, and then to also have a quick look at the system for a system demo and to take further understanding about the HANA architecture. All right, and few other details regarding the study materials, the system access, and the small project that we will conduct here to learn the project steps in implementing HANA. So first of all, I will go over to the slides and introduce myself. All right, so if you have questions, you can put the questions in the questions box, and there is a chat box as well. If you would like to put your question on the audio, you can click on raise hand, but that will be handled towards the end of the session. So in between, if you'd like to communicate or share or ask a question, you can do so by writing or typing the question in the questions box. And towards the end, we will take all the questions, and you can also click on how to ask your question over the audio. You can click on raise hand icon. Okay, so that is the first guideline. Second guideline is regarding the recording of this demo. It will be conducted by the training team from Techie Training, and they will send you the link to download the recording of this particular session. So that's the second part. The third part is we will be using the GoToWebinar or the GoToMeeting to conduct our regular sessions. It will be conducted from Monday through Friday. It's a daily session. We will have for 2 hours, and 2 hours for theory and 30 minutes for question and answers. So I will take the session for 2 hours and discuss about the all the perspectives from a HANA architecture. So we will conduct the session for 2 hours, and then 30 minutes will be open for question answers. So you can use that time to put your questions, share your thoughts. Okay. All right. So once you have the organizer access, that will be granted by the technical staff of the Techie Training. So once you have the organizer access, you will be having the option to perform the recording at your computers. So you can do so once you have the organizer access. Basically, once you enroll in the training program, you will be able to perform a organizer user, so you can perform the recordings at the local computers. Until then, for the first couple of sessions, the recordings will be sent to you directly into your inbox by the support staff. Okay, so so you can see the slides. My name is Param, and I'm SAP HANA certified at the associate level, administration level, and I'm currently working as an independent contractor to various Fortune 500 clients, and be able to perform the system landscaping, architecture, solutioning, and various upgrades on SAP HANA support packs. Successfully conducted 9 SAP HANA project implementation globally, and also certified in other SAP products portfolios, and currently pursuing my PhD in the in-memory Computing from a SAP Alliance University in Germany. I have various articles that are published in global forums and journals, and I've been awarded the SAP Sapphire 2012. So when SAP HANA was getting released and it was gaining popularity at that point, 2012, I won the award on the one of the solution called the COPA Accelerator. So we will do that same, we will learn that same project where we will have a proof of concept, and we will go through a project scenario where we simulate the scenario, and we conduct that here in the training program. So basically the SAP HANA training that we conduct here is a experience-based training. It will also allow you to have the hands-on. You will have various practical exercises that we can conduct, or else you can perform a self-practice after the session or over the weekend. So you will have practical exercises. Plus, we will do a proof of concept where we will simulate the project requirement, and then we will perform some documentation like technical documentation, project outlining, trying to give the naming of the objects in HANA, and understanding the analytics. Okay. We will also learn what is not taught in SAP Education Services. All right. And then for the beginners, for consultants who are non-SAP, we will also have a quick overview in the first couple of sessions about what is SAP and where HANA fits in, right? How do we start a analytics in HANA, data modeling in HANA by understanding the SAP portfolio. So we will also be able to connect to the source system of HANA and understand the basics. Right. For the administration, we will also have a look at the various architecture, backup, recovery, diagnosis, right? So the various administrative tasks, security authorizations, transports. We will also perform the hands-on in that as well. Okay, so this is a quick short profile about myself. I will be conducting all the sessions throughout the training program, and we will be conducting that on a daily basis. So we start. I will change over to the next slide. So tonight here in the demo, we will have a quick overview on these 5 areas. The first area will give us the layout of the list of the topics. Right? So we need to know what are the topics that we're going to cover here in this training program. Then the second area is the architecture. So it's important that we all have a basic understanding in the back of our minds what is the architecture of HANA, where you have various layers. You got a source system layer, you got a replication layer, design layer, presentation layer likewise. So we will understand the general overview about the architecture. Then we proceed further in an actual training program to investigate and inspect every layers in the architecture. We may be a non-SAP consultant, we may be an SAP but a functional consultant, we may be a programmer or a basis or a administrator or a DBA or a report writer or even a business analyst. So there is something for everybody in HANA, because SAP HANA can connect to any legacy systems, can connect to any existing enterprise systems, can even connect to web services, can connect to any type of databases. So HANA offers that common platform. That is why it is getting preferred by a lot of customers, new non-SAP customers or existing SAP installation base to prefer HANA due to various reasons. One of them is the compilation that it offers the single truth across the organization with the support of the big data and then the real-time scenarios. So we will learn as we proceed what are the basic offerings of HANA that make it so famous and preferred by Global 1000 companies across the globe. So that is important about the the basic about HANA. We will do that in our first session. But tonight here in the demo, we will just have a general understanding about HANA and its architecture, right? Then the third area is the system demo, which is a quick overview on how we work, what is the interface, so that we will have a quick understanding how we log on to be able to work on HANA. Okay, so this is a system demo right here. We will go into a remote computer which is on the cloud, and we will have that connected. It's separately located elsewhere, and we are all connected from other locations. So we will only have access to a particular IP address that will allow us to log on into that particular remote system and allowing the user to log on in that system. All right, so all of us will have our unique system access with our unique user ID and the password, so that our work are stored locally into our local users. The next one is the project POC, which is also a very helpful area when we conduct a training on a particular tool. It's not just the step-by-step, the mechanical steps. It is also a scenario-based where you have the knowledge on how we start a project, what are the deliverables of the project, what are the steps that we generally deliver in a particular project, what are the naming standards, how do you transport, how do you have the technical design documentation, how do you build the objects, how do you make it accessible by performing security authorizations, how do you create the reports, and finally consume the data models. So it's a complete end-to-end process source into the replicator, into the HANA, through the design, data models, and then security authorizations, and then the transports, and then finally the presentation layer using various reporting tools like SAP Lumira, SAP Predictive Analysis, and various other tools like Simple Excel, how you connect with HANA, and BatchSAP, of course. So the project POC allows us to have a deeper insights, not just the concept, but the deeper insights into the actual steps that we're going to do, perform, and deliver in a HANA POC. So that is a very important point. That's why we try and cover it here. And then, of course, finally, we have the study materials, which is SAP standard for certification. So if anybody is interested to apply for the certification after the end of the training program, can do so by performing some enrollment in the SAP portal. We will also guide you into the final session, which is called as the final prep, where we will conduct a small self-test on the HANA certification examination for both the application consultants and users, and then the other is the administrators. So that was especially for certification preparation and then interview preparation for folks who are going to apply for jobs. So we'll give you the guidance about the interview preparation with the questions with the right answers. And for independent contractors and consultants, for non-SAP folks, I will also give you the information about HANA interviews with the question answers. So that will be finally delivered in the actual training program, but tonight we will just have a quick overview. So let's start. In the next slide over here, we have the list of the topics. This is going to guide us to keep track of our progress per session in the training program. So in the first session, we will have a basic awareness about the HANA, the High Performance Analytical Appliance. What does it offer? Is it a software or is it a hardware? Is it an appliance? What are the components? Why HANA is so preferred? What is big data? Why HANA fits into the big data? How HANA is the leader in the big data space? What are the general offerings in HANA? Right? So and then performance comparison between HANA and other systems, how it becomes preferred, basically from a performance enhancement. So we will learn all of those in the first session. That will be tomorrow. And in that, we have the general background. So first lesson. The second lesson is on the PAM, the product availability metrics. So this particular lesson number 2 will give us who are the providers of the appliance of HANA. So we have IBM and HP, Fujitsu, Cisco, Hitachi, NEC, and the VMware. These are the hardware vendors who provide the appliance of HANA. So we will need to know as a general knowledge, because when we say that I am HANA trained, our customers and our clients may ask, if I need to procure HANA, what is the process? Who are the providers? Right? Can I go with my existing hardware vendor? I have IBM as my client, as my vendor. So can we go back with IBM? If so, what are the offerings? Right? What is the server configuration of IBM from an administration point of view? So it all is important for all of us to also have the basic awareness about the product availability metrics. Then we go into lesson number 3, where we have the architecture. This is a step-by-step architecture perspective, where we will look at the appliance, database, data loading, data modeling, reporting, and administration. So we look at the architecture from 6 different angles to be able to understand the 360-degree overview about HANA from an architecture standpoint. So as we are learning this new tool, we don't need to have a SAP awareness, because this particular HANA is absolutely new even for SAP consultants. Okay, so if I'm an SAP or non-SAP, it does not make any particular difference, because it's a very new platform. All right, so we will learn that architecture. Then lesson number 4 is one of the prerequisite tool. So we already started conduct that tool. That is the BobJ so Business Objects Data Services. Okay, so the Business Objects Data Services is an ETL tool, which stands for extraction, transformation, and loading. This particular tool allows HANA to acquire data from various sources, from various legacy systems or enterprise systems which are slow performing, which does not support big data, and which does not support real-time analysis. So what it does is that HANA will be extracting the data from various sources. It could be DBMS, RDBMS, it could be enterprise systems, it could be application servers, it could be flat files, or etc. So the BODS is one of the replicator extractor that allows HANA to acquire these data on a real-time basis, and it supports big data. So tomorrow's session, we learn about what is the big data, what is the definition of big data, and where HANA fits in, right? So those areas we're going to learn that. The other part is the SLT, which stands for SAP Landscape Transformation. This is also an SAP indigenous replicator or extractor. So the lesson number 4 is a prerequisite tools that allow a user of HANA to be able to perform some data extraction. So hence we already covered that prerequisite tool here in lesson number 4. So we may have a question, hey, what is the prerequisite to learn HANA, right? Basically from a technical standpoint, the technical prerequisite tool is the bots and the SLT. So we need to know that. Hence we try and cover that here in lesson number 4 before we even start lesson number 5, where we have HANA activities, right? So that's the first part. The second part is HANA delivers the functional and the business scenarios on a real-time basis. So we will have the basic awareness of business processes, like, for example, supply chain management, product lifecycle management, procurement management, financial management, right? So various line of businesses are available. So that is delivered through something called as rapid deployment solutions. Okay, so it's called as rapid deployment solutions. It will have predefined business content, predefined business scenarios, where as a user we can already adopt it and then start implementing or customize and deploy those solutions. So HANA offers something for everybody. So I may be a CRM expert, but I don't know anything about SAP. I can leverage my CRM knowledge on HANA and deliver real-time analytics for my customer relationship management. Similarly, I may be an ABAP programmer or a Java programmer. I don't know anything about SAP, but I can leverage my skill set because Java, ABAP, these programming languages are also supported on top of HANA. I may be a non-technical functional consultant. I don't have any basic awareness about IT solutions, but I'm a business analyst. So you can also leverage your enterprise analytical skills in HANA by connecting and developing data models. Right? I may be a reporting consultant. I don't know anything about the backend. Right? Still, I can leverage my reporting skill set and become a report writer or a reporting consultant on HANA. Right? So it offers every particular profile some kind of a solution. Basically, if I'm a business analyst, or I may be a sales consultant, I may be a SRM expert, I may be a non-SAP but a functional expert, I may be a programmer, I may be just a SAP BI consultant. So there is something for everybody from SAP HANA. So that is the primary message that I would like to give here. As we have various non-SAP consultants getting certification in HANA through the training program and helping them enter into the SAP consulting world where they start the SAP career, of course with the help of their basic experiences. Okay, so lesson number 5 is more about the mechanical steps on the HANA data modeling. So what is a attribute view? Where we create it, how we create it, what's a package, what's a structured package, what's an analytical view, what's a calculation view, how we perform the export, import, transports, how we generate the auto documentation of the technical design documents. What if I have some time information like fiscal year, calendar month-wise, I would like to show the KPIs, let's say monthly sales or monthly quantity sold. So how do I encourage the time factor to be also related to my analytics, right? So those are the data modeling areas that we will learn in this training program, of course with the hands-on and practical sessions. The next one is lesson number 6. This is more about the reporting, where we start to consume the data models that we have created in HANA. Like, for example, we got sales analysis. So what are the basic factors of a sales analysis? We need customer, we need the products that we sell, we need the quantity being sold, we need the discounts so that we can come up with the rebates, right? So those are the primary factors that are required for the sales. So we will build a report. Based on the report requirements, we can use various reporting tools like BobG Explorer, Web Intelligence like WebEye. We have Crystal Reports, got dashboards, a Design Studio, you got SAP Predictive Analysis if you like to go for some predictive time series. Then we have SAP Lumira. Then we have the simple Microsoft Excel. So we can use any one of these reporting tools to directly connect into HANA. There is no prerequisite of a tool to have, right, connectivity on the HANA system. You can use any tool which supports ODBC, JDBC connectors. So I can go ahead and connect my Crystal Reports into HANA. I can go ahead and connect the MicroStrategy tool, which is a non-SAP tool. I can go ahead and connect IBM Cognos. I can go ahead and connect to ClickView, and then other Excel systems into HANA, so for reporting purpose. So we will also learn here in lesson number 6 what are the most preferred tools which are preferred by HANA users and why they prefer it and how they can directly connect with HANA without any intermediate layers. So there is something called as BatchSAP universe that needs to be between HANA and the front-end tools. Why we need a universe and which tools work on universe, which tools does not work on universe, and which tools can directly connect with HANA. So that is a very important area that we will try to explore tool by tool, right, and then have an awareness and also create some reports with practical exercises so that we can come to the conclusion and offer our customer a good prescription. All right, so if you have a reporting requirement as such, then go ahead for these tools. So we will be in a position to prescribe our customers that you go for a particular tool for a particular scenario. Okay, so that is a quick overview of the reporting. So it's not just learning HANA, it's a little bit more than that. It's going to cover us the BatchSAP reporting side, right? We will also be able to understand the other peripheral tools like BODS, SLT, BatchSAP, and other peripheral tools, right? So we will be using all the reporting tools like dashboards, Design Studio, BO Explorer, Web Intelligence, Crystal Reports, SAP Lumira, SAP Visual Intelligence, then SAP Predictive Analysis, Microsoft Excel. These are all the tools that we will be using here in the session. Okay. All right, then number 7 is again coming back to the administration part, so that if I say that I am a HANA trained consultant, we also need to know the administrative side. We also need to know what are the services that are hosted by the HANA server, which port to connect, what are the ports, how many types of ports, how does the administration team perform a backup recovery. So this particular training program also offers the administrators, the DBAs, and the basis consultant to be able to perform these activities like system monitoring, backup recovery, adding a server, starting a server, restarting, and then rebooting a system, taking a backup recovery, performing a diagnosis, performing a trace on a user, right? And then the upgrade steps, and then security authorization over here. Number 7, perform the transports, create users and roles, create those privileges. There are 5 security authorization categories in SAP HANA. So we also cover this training program not just for the developer, but also for the reporting consultants, but also for the administrators, where we can perform this SNA activities, security authorization activities, user management, role management, system monitoring, administration, and transports. Those are an important area even for the basis consultant. So if you are a basis consultant or a DBA, this is also the good platform so that you also understand the HANA application side of data modeling, the reporting, the extraction, and your experience on the administration. So we have successful candidates who are able to clear their basis certification on HANA through the training program. All right. Then number 9 is an additional session that we will conduct together towards the end of the program, where we will go through these additional topics. These are the topics which are not taught in the SAP Education Services. We try and cover it here so that you are interview ready, you are project ready, you are implementation ready. Customer engagement may have these questions. Customer may come back and say, hey, I have a solution manager. How do I use that? Is it related with HANA? Yes, no, where, how? So the role of sole man in SAP HANA. We may be a consultant, but we don't know about this particular SAP tool. So we will learn about SAP Solution Manager. What does it offer? What is there for HANA here for a Solution Manager activities, right? So then another customer may come back and say, hey, I've got SAP BI. How does it fit in here in analytics? Is BI going to be replaced by HANA? What does it really offer? So what really happens, and how do we do a migration of BW to run on the HANA platform? What are the steps? What's the cost-benefit analysis? So these are the questions that you may encounter in your customer workshop, customer engagement, pre-sales, and even in your projects. So we all need to know these extra topics that will make us the project engagement ready when we start working on HANA projects. Okay. The third is the RDS, Rapid Deployment Solutions. This is also a very important area for a consultant, so we will learn about the RDS. SAP Predictive Analysis, we will see the predictive algorithms, functions that are part of the PAL, Predictive Analysis Library, which is specially created for HANA. So if I'm a statistical user, I have no clue about SAP, I don't know the SAP and the other IT solution, but I'm good at predictive calculations. I'm good at arithmetic, I'm good at maths, I'm good at the statistical algorithms. So this is a tool which allows those users who are good at statistical algorithms to work on the predictive analysis so that on the real-time data from HANA, you can run some predictive calculations. The next one is the SAP River. This is a tool for the Java programmers. So if I'm a Java programmer developing web solutions, developing web interfaces, I can use this tool to work on my existing Java platform, connect. And even if I'm an Android developer or a iOS 6 app developer, right, I can also use SAP River to connect with SAP systems, including HANA, and develop an app on an Apple, on Android smartphones, so that it can connect with HANA. So I'm seeing a couple of questions in the questions box. One of the question is from Kush Gupta about the reporting tools. So the answer was all BobJ tools will be used. Next question from Rishi Kumar, right, about the SAP Business Suite. Yes, we will try and cover that. These are all other areas that I will take you through on the implementation side. So we have various use cases. All right, we may have a native HANA where we have a standalone HANA box. We may have an enterprise HANA with the business suite running. We could also have HANA on the cloud, or the cloud could be running on top of HANA. So there are various landscaping solutions and use cases which are available, so we try and understand that as well, okay? Next question from Rohit Bansal is, can we use a BAP to develop an app? Well, for developing an app, basically a mobile app, we do not use a BAP, okay? So we generally go for C++ and Java, JSON, JS, XSJS, Xcode for the Apple iOS platform. So all the apps that you see in the Apple Store are built from the Xcode, right? And some of the apps that you see on the Google Play Store for the Android devices are built on the C++ and Java platform. Okay, so a BAP is a verification language in SAP systems. A BAP cannot be used in other systems. It's only for SAP systems, right? So you can use a BAP on the back end for validating the data, which is getting requested from various appliances, right? So a BAP on HANA is also preferable for all the SAP-related transformation roles that you want to perform in your SAP systems. So if you're an ABAPer, You can use your ABAP skill set in SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation, SAP Sources, right? And then the ABAP for HANA. Right? ABAP cannot be used outside of SAP systems, right? So for developing an app, basically we have to go for app compliant programming language like Java and various other C++, Eclipse, Apache, and the JSON, JS scripting, and the Xcoding, etc. Okay, this next question is, right, so new to SAP, yes. So as I have informed earlier, we have something for everybody, even for non-SAP, so that you can leverage your existing skill set. But if you are interested to work on SAP consulting and SAP projects and SAP career advancement, this is the right tool because it's a very new system. The HANA was launched quite 3 years back, so it's a very fairly new system. Okay? So it's a good opportunity for everybody to learn and work on HANA. The prerequisite tool is BODS and SLT as indicated on the previous slide. So it will be covered before we start working on HANA. Okay, next question from Santosh. OData. OData will be covered as an overview because OData is now completely replaced by SAP River. OData was an older solution, but it is now replaced by SAP River. So we will cover SAP River. Okay. Next question from Anil about the HANA data center. Well, HANA data center we will look at from a data center oriented architecture. Okay, so this is basically for a enterprise who would like to run the various RAID technology for synchronous mirroring for various data centers and data center integration. SAP also have SAP data centers, which they are offering to the customers and asking, hey, why don't you use our data center, which is secured from all perspectives, and instead of running your data center in local premise, use our data center, which is on the cloud or on our premises, and then reduce your maintenance costs. That's what SAP offers. Yep, so we will go about that overview as well. Next question, yep, is from Sashi. Is there a placement assistant after the training? You can get the guidance from the support staff who will help you on the assistance, but you can also have a connect. Right? Next question from Anuresh. Any programming language needed such as ABAP? Well, it's not required. The only requirement for learning HANA is on lesson number 4. Right? We must have seen the data provisioning tools. Right? Those are the prerequisites. So we're going to cover that before we start working on HANA. Okay. Programming language expertise not required because HANA offers drag-drop solutions. Next question from Hari. Going to be hands-on? Absolutely yes. As we have informed earlier, there will be practical sessions, right? So if you go back here to this particular slide quickly. All right, over here, if you remember the slide, you will see that there is a project POC. Okay, so the project POC allows not just the hands-on, but the project deliverables. So you will start working on it. You'll have a project requirement. You have various deliverables that you got to create, right? So the System Access allows us to do so. Okay. System Access is available for 2 months. You can have a connect with the training staff on all those particular details. Okay, so coming back here to the list of the topics, the last one here is the certification and interview preparation. That's going to help us for our certification programs if you'd like to go for a certification from SAP or you just to go for interviews, right? Okay, Then let's have a quick look on the next slide where we have the architecture diagram. This is a general diagram to understand about the process flow which is there in the backend HANA system. So I will write it on the screen here onto the last layer as we start bottom-up approach. This is the bottom-up approach because this is the data flow path, right? So the route of the data flowing from the source to the presentation is from bottom-up approach. Okay, so you have a source systems. It could be SAP, non-SAP, third-party, any type of source systems. Then you have a replication layer, which is the extractors. This is the prerequisite to learn HANA, right? So we will cover that SLT, data services, real-time replication services before we start working on HANA. So these tools, we will log in, we will see how it is configured, we will see how it is connected, we will see how we can perform data loading using these tools. These are the prerequisite tools to work on HANA. So we will cover those tools before we start working on HANA. All right, so that's your extraction layer. Then the data processing layer is performed here in IMC, in-memory computing engine. We're going to learn about that in session number 3 in more details, the database architecture. The next layer is the design layer, where we have the interface called HANA Studio that allows the user to develop various data models to also perform the transport, security authorizations, administrative tasks. So all of that is performed from the interface called HANA Studio. One of the activities is data modeling. So this is the design layer. We also call it as interface layer, the design and interface layer. And finally, whichever data models are created can be consumed at the reporting layer. So you can connect to any reporting tools like Excel, Crystal, ClickView, BobJ tools like BO Explorer, WebEye, dashboards, Crystal reports, IDT for the universe, right? And then SAP Visual Intelligence, now called as SAP Lumira, SAP Predictive Tools, and then Excel. So these are the various layers. So you have a source system layer, extraction layer, processing layer, design layer, and the reporting layer. It's a very frequent interview question on describing about the architecture layers of HANA. Okay, so moving over to the next slide, we have a list of the initial customers which started implementing HANA in 2012 already. Most of these customers are SAP. You also find non-SAP customers. Okay. The first few details on the background. All right, so you have Medidata as a non-SAP, and then you have the first company to implement SAP RDS solution is Centrica. Our first telecom company is T-Mobile. Candy Venture is a non-SAP customer. NRI Neruma Research Institute in Tokyo, Japan is also a non-SAP customer. So you find these non-SAP customers implementing the first SAP product that was HANA in 2012. The next newer customers are Adidas. Then you have Samsung implementing a POC on HANA. And just last year, 2013, they went live. Apple is also implementing HANA as we speak for various analytics on the cloud. British Petroleum are new customers. Red Bull is the first customer to implement the BW on HANA, followed by Bayer in Germany. T-Systems, basically T-Mobile for telecom sector. And then over new 400 customers in 2012 already, which went live 2012 and 13. And this year we have a larger, which is more than double, 1,100 or nearly 1,000, some numbers, 1,000 1,280, 1,300, 1,500 new customers that have signed up to go live this year, second half, H2 of 2014. So you can see that larger customers are implementing HANA for various competitive advantage. So you have customers implementing HANA for big data. You have customers implementing HANA for faster analytics. We have customers implementing HANA for real-time solutioning. We have customers implementing HANA for predictive solutions, for EPM solutions, EDW. Basically, EPM stands for Enterprise Performance Management. Enterprise Data Warehousing Management is EDW. Then we have ECM, Enterprise Content Management. So we have customers implementing HANA for various business scenarios. It could be a particular financial scenario, it could be supply chain, it could be landscape oriented, it could be to reduce the complexity of the so many legacy systems that they have. Right. One of my previous implementation was done in Coca-Cola in Atlanta, where they have over 14 legacy systems that need to be connected. Right. So the basic requirement in that scenario is to implement HANA to reduce the complexity, because all legacy systems performance are that slow. And if you try to run a query, let's say, show me last 3 months total sales, it failed to give us the result. It says timeout or CRC disk failure, because these legacy systems work on a traditional spinning disk concept, and when you try to run those huge data for reporting, it fails. So some customers implement HANA to reduce the complexity, to enhance their analytics, to make real-time, to incorporate big data solutions, right? So we will learn about that customer benefits later, but these are the list of the customers for a quick understanding. Then I move over to the next slide regarding the study materials for 2014. We will also give you the older materials that are used from 2012, like TZ HANA, TG200, TG300. Those are the older study materials. On top of that, we offer the newer study materials like 1800, 200, 300, 350, 400 for all participants. These study materials are SAP certification materials. So you got to read these study materials if you are attempting HANA certification examinations, because they do have questions directly from these study materials. All right. So I'll give you further details about the examination, on certification, on how many types of certification course, certification codes are available, who can take the certification. Right. So I'll give you more details as we proceed in training program. But for now, the study materials are listed on your screen. Okay. So we move out of the slideshow quickly and log on into the remote system. So I'm going to use a command. All we need is just an internet connectivity. We do not need to install anything in our local computers. We don't need to install any software. We don't need to install any particular tool. All we need is an internet connectivity from any location. You just have an internet connectivity and log on into this particular system. Right. This system is a separate desktop which is located elsewhere, not in my computer, not in the study centers, but it's located in our vendor premises, and they've given us this connection as a virtual private network, the VPN, and we are able to connect here directly. So once we are able to connect, and I maximize the screen here, it's redirecting me to a desktop computer that allows me to work on all these tools. Right, let's have a quick look on what are the tools that are available here. I click here on Start and Programs, and then once I click here on Programs, I have related tools like the BO Explorer. Then we have Microsoft Office, just in case if you want to connect Excel into HANA. Then there is a R for R statistical users. If it is related, you can go ahead and work on the R programming, R and L if needed for statistical programming. Then the most important related are the tools which I have collected together in this folder in Business Intelligence via BobJ BI platform. Now, this particular collection is a administrator tool and a reporting tool combination. So if you are an administration consultant or basis, or you are a developer who are also interested in learning the administration side, you have the administrator tool CCM, then you have CMC, you have online documentation. If you need to download these resource library, you have the Java platform. Then the reporting clients are over here, like the IDT, which is used by the reporting consultants to create something called as the BobJ universe. Well, there are two types of universes. We will see the difference between those two. Well, in the session number 9 or 10, round about that session, when we reach the reporting layer, we'll also inspect each of these tools and see how these are used to connect into HANA and consume our data models that we have created from the backend system. Okay. Then you got BobJ Design Studio. This is for the the developers on Apple, basically, who can create an app. You have certain templates that you want to use. You can also have the QR code that is visible for secure transfer of your reports over Apple devices and Android devices on the smartphones. So you can develop an app using Design Studio. Crystal Reports, SAP Lumira, SAP Data Services, right? They have SAP HANA. So you're going to learn all of these tools along with SAP HANA. So learning HANA also help us learn other related tools like BobJ, BODS, SLT, and various other tools within the BobJ. So let me start with a quick overview on the interface of HANA, which is the HANA Studio. So when I log in here for the first time, I get to see a blank screen. All I need to do is to log on here. All right, so I'm going to right-click and log on with my user password. Okay, so I have my user, and I'm going to use the system administrator user. This is applicable for everybody here in this training program. So we will not have any limitation on the activities that we want to conduct here. So there will be no warning that says insufficient privileges. Because we are not going to use a training user, we will use the system administrator user, where we can tear down the system and go anywhere, wherever we want to. Administration, transport, reporting, data modeling, extraction, any other activities for the user. So all of us will have a common access to the system administrator and allow us to do everything, anything here in this environment. Plus, if you like to create your own individual user, say for example I'm a trainer, I want to create my own trainer user, I can do so, and I will show you how you can create other users and roles and map it together for a security authorization on user groups. You will see that in security authorization session. So for now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to log in here. I'm going to provide my user, already it's here, and the password, and then OK. Next is I will open up something called as the quick launch from here. Okay, I can go in here. I'll walk you through on the various exploratory steps, how we work here in HANA. But this is a quick demo session, hence just an overview is what we will show you here. In much details will be covered in the actual training program, where we go over here in this menu bar. What are the items that are here? What if I want to see the properties, the license of the HANA system? So go in here, license, if it is a permanent license or a temporary license, because the licensing is an important aspect of a customer, where if the customer want to go for an upgrade, they need to have a permanent license. If the customer is using a temporary license, SAP will hold that license, because temporary license users and customers cannot go for a HANA upgrade, right? So these are the additional information that I will share in due course of the training program, not only the academics, but also the experience, right? So it's going to help us gain both information. So now I have the navigator panel onto my left-hand side of the screen, which allows me to basically explore these folders. So I have a backup folder. If I need to run a backup and redirect here to this folder, I can run the backups here locally for my user. Or I can go here to the catalog folder where I can see various schemas. These schemas are folders which will have various database objects. Then we have public synonyms. Then I open another folder called the content, which allows the user to have a list of all the packages that are built by various developers of HANA application environment. So various HANA users create these packages, and here in this package you will have these objects. The one that you see on the center of the screen, these objects. So a package can contain an attribute view, analytic calculation view, analytic privilege, procedure, and decision table. So these are the content of a package, and all these content of the package are transportable objects. So we will learn those terminologies, we'll learn the definition, we will also understand the areas where we can use it, and the further subtypes. If you have an attribute view, what is the definition, how many subtypes, where we can use it. So those areas we'll also investigate and learn. So all of these objects are collected together into these packages. And packages can also have sub-packages, like we have folders in a folder. Possible in a C drive and D drives in computers. Like that, we can have various subfolders. Underneath the subfolders, you can have these objects, like attribute views, analytic views, calculation views. We will see as we proceed with the project. We will learn the definition, the guideline, the best practice, and optimized way of designing these objects. So 99% of all the activities in HANA are all graphical. You don't need to type any programming language here. You don't need to learn any programming language just to learn HANA. It's all drag and drop. You is a user service tool. So the user can just have an overview understanding and then replicate the tables and design the data models. So it's a complete drag, drop, and deploy tool that allows the user as an administrative user, as a designer developer user, or as a reporting user, as a extraction user, or as a security authorization basis user, likewise. So for all the user groups, the Studio is a primary interface. Now if I need more help on the documentation, I can also go here into the documentation link. As I click here, it redirects the user to a SAP help portal. Now if I'm new to SAP, this is a very good tool. So all in all, within the HANA Studio, I can already see some of these SAP information for learning as a beginner. Now I want to see what's there for SAP for industries. I'm going to click here because I'm new to SAP, so I want to know what SAP solutions are there for various industries. Now as we scroll down here on the left-hand side, you have SAP for AD, Aerospace and Defense, SAP for automotive. So you've got various industry sectors that you want to go in further to learn about these solutions from SAP for various industry sectors. Okay, clicking here on utilities for the electrical utility companies. The first utility company to implement HANA is the Centrica in Europe, in UK. So it will give us further details about the various other associated links. SAP utilities for SAP ERP, utilities for SAP CRM, and various other smart metering, SAP pricing, useful links. These are all available here. So this offers the user to also have the Dukopedia into learning HANA, and especially for consultants and participants who are new to the SAP community, this is a very reliable tool. All right, because you have the documentation. If I'm new to the SAP utilities, I can learn about the utility sector. If I need to, I can go back and learn about the SAP public public sector, mining, insurance, retail, healthcare, banking, manufacturing, oil and gas. So I have all these sectors that I can go ahead and learn these sector industrial knowledge. All right, and then come back here to the HANA. You have various other on-cloud solution, SAP best practices, technology, application lifecycle management, business one. Right, so you can come back here on SAP in-memory computing. This is where you're going to find HANA. Okay, so once you're here, basically you'll be able to download Support Pack 8, the newer Support Pack on SAP HANA. Release notes, you see here Support Pack 8, which was updated just just a month, nearly 3 weeks ago. Then we got release notes. If you're a basis administrator, you're looking at installation and upgrade, you have these master guides for the installation. Right, then if you are looking at, so let me scroll down one by one. So over here, installation, upgrade information, that you can download these documents onto your computer. Security information, system administration maintenance guide, data modeling information, development information, developer guide, reference information, JavaScript, Java developer information, search, library, lifecycle management, end user, product availability metrics, central SAP notes, how to perform the sizing of the HANA system. You got a sizing guide over here. Right? So those are the details that we have here in the Wikipedia and the documentation link. Now where do I go find the documentation link? It's right here onto the right and lower corner of the quick launch screen. Okay, so that's a quick overview on the HANA Studio. Of course, we'll come back there to learn all the basic terminologies and the workaround, navigation, exploration steps. The next area is to have a quick understanding about the project that we will conduct here in this training program. So let me pull up the Excel file. As you can see here, we got a project outline. So this is a simulated environment where we simulate that there is a customer which is from the consumer products retail company, and that they would like to go for a scenario for HANA, which is the sales scenario. They have a SAP source system, SAP ERP source system, and they have these deliverables that are required from the project. So deliverables like sales and profitability analysis from the COPA, which is controlling and profitability analysis data models. They're also expecting a deliverable on the security authorizations for the users and the roles of the users. They're expecting the third deliverable here to perform the transports, design documentations, system administration, and the reporting. So this particular outline project document helps us to visualize learning HANA from a project perspective. So it's not the academics part, learning definition, working with the examples, but also to simulate a project environment where you have various phases of the projects like requirements gathering, development, you got to run the testing, you got to validate, activate, run the transports, create users for the users and their respective roles, and then create the reports, also develop the technical specs of the blueprint. So it's more about project-oriented hands-on experience over and above the academic experience that we'll learn here together, the training program. Okay, so this is a quick outline. So let me come back to the slideshow here. On to the next slide. If you need the participants' testimonials, you can. I have a quick snapshot of the training.com website over here, techietraining.com/testimonials. And you find HANA, you see all our previous participants with their scores of their certification result. Okay, so participants who scored 100% are also in here in the list. You have these consultants from non-SAP background able to clear the certification within 2 weeks, right? So you have all the feedback testimonials here in this techietraining.com/testimonials. We have the highest record of SAP HANA certified consultants globally from the training program. Okay, so let's quickly see if I can open this particular web page. And we are here on the web page. So I'm going to click here on HANA. You also find the contact details on the upper right-hand side. You got these numbers for dialing from the US, from the UK, from Australia, from India. You have the contact numbers on the right-hand side. Contact email ID is also available. Here at the testimonials page, we have previous participants giving us the feedback. You will also have feedbacks about some examination details that they do give the feedback here as well. All right. So these are all participants who scored a good amount of percentage, 97%, 99%, 100%, and consultants who cleared the certification examination with their testimonials. So you can come back later on this web page and just have a quick overview. Okay, in one of the testimonials, you see a participant giving us questions that were related to performance optimization, which were related to BobJ, right? So they do give us the feedback here. So it's a big list, long list here. We have 100% success rate so far for all participants who attended the training program. They're all able to clear the examination. All right. We will also have a examination certification session on the last final session. I'll give you more details about certification, how to prepare, what are the questions, what are the right answers, what are question patterns, interview preparation with the right questions, right answers, right? So we will also perform that on the final prep towards the end, in the last session of the training program. So this will also give us a confidence that once you are done with the training program, it will give you the confidence that, hey, I'm ready for certification, I'm ready for interviews. So that's the right approach. After you are done with the training program, that's the next step that you all have to perform. So I'll give you the guidance on how you do that on the final prep session. Okay, so finally here in the last slide, we have the contact details. If you're dialing from the US, you have this number 201-478-8484. If you're dialing from India, 880-1000-880. You also have the WhatsApp that you can connect if you're dialing, if you're connecting from India. On Skype, you have Technogen's SAP. The website is techietraining.com, and you have the further details. You can also directly reach out to Kalyan at techietraining.com or bolokalyan@gmail.com to interact about the timelines, the server access, the fees, all the other details. Just feel free to pick up the phone and just dial it or just drop a mail. They will be able to respond. On the lower part of the slideshow, you have the duration of the training, which is roughly about 30 hours for both the application and administrators. It's Monday through Friday, which is weekday session, so we will give an off on the weekends. So we are off on Saturdays and Sundays. That gives us the breather that we can practice with your practical exercises. You can review, revise, open up the recordings, replay the recordings, come back with questions on Monday. That's where we allowed our participants to have a weekend off. So Monday through Friday, 2 hours of the theory and 30 minutes for question and answers. Total about 3 weeks of the training program. 9 p.m. EST to 11 p.m. EST. That's the timeline. So further details about the server access, the commercials, the timelines, just drop an email on the contact details. So with that, we are towards the end of the demo for tonight. We will connect tomorrow same time, 9 p.m. EST, for our first session, where I'll give you the diagrammatic representation of why HANA is becoming very preferred today in the marketplace. A lot of non-SAP customers implementing HANA, SAP customers implementing HANA. So what does it offer? What is big data? What are the real-time analytics we can expect? What are the customer benefits? What's the cost-benefit analysis? And the architecture, and right? So we're going to start from tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST. The recordings for tonight's demo will be available after the session in your inbox as a link for a free download. So thanks everyone, and we are now open for questions on the audio. So if you, right, so I have Jay. Jay, you got a question?
Yeah, typically, would you be linking this with SAP, let us say APO sales and operation planning for us to do a demo there, and then, move the forecast and demand into ECC, something that we can relate into SAP?
Absolutely, yes. Yep. So you will have access to the complete SAP ERP system, where you can go for SOP, you can go for other modules like SDMM, COPA, FI, so you can relate that accordingly. What we're going to do here in our project is to relate from the COPA FI part. Like that, you can also come up with your own use case. If you learn the concept, you can also come up with your own use case where I can relate with the manufacturing, LOB for SOP or PP, and various other procurement areas.
Okay, thanks. And there will be some notes and download documents that we can move on. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, so that was Jay. Next question from Anil. Anil, you got a question?
Yeah, this is Anil. You will cover administrative perspective and modeling perspective also a little bit, or completely the basis side admin?
Yeah, it's a complete application and basis together.
Okay.
Right. So 1 week we will be going through the data modeling application side. The next week we will also start with the administrative side basis, which is related for both. And then the final third week we will go through the summarization. So that's the other way of looking at the distribution of the topics.
So this is a high level of administrative view, or just in depth you're going as a basis consultant, you go in depth, or you covered both, so what level you're covering?
Yeah, it is a high level first, and then we go into the in-depth where you can work with the services. You can start a HANA server, you can restart, you can stop, you can work with the ports, you can go with the diagnosis files, you can perform the backup recovery, you can work with the licensing, you can work with the diagnosis, you can work with the tracing of the users, you'll be creating users and roles and performing the transport. So it's a complete in-depth on the basis administration side as well.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, so there was Anil. Next question I have is on the questions box from Hari. Are we going to have the class video to download? Yeah, of course, yes. So you will have the recording for this demo that you can download. But after you become an organizer, after you enroll, basically, you'll have option that you can perform recording in a local laptops. So that's a good thing, right? You can keep the reference of all the recordings in your local computer by performing recording yourself in the system. So once I share the screen, all participants can see my screen. Then you will see the recording button on the GoToWebinar or GoToMeeting. Then you can start downloading or recording the video with the audio, right? Next question, do you provide exercises? Yes, it will be available. So we have practical exercises that you can perform yourself, and we will do a project exercise that we will do in the session together. Right? So there are two practical categories. One is a practical exercise that you can do as a self-practice, and the other is we will conduct that on sessions on the screen together. Okay, next question from Gupta.
Yeah. Hi. I just want to ask you, like, after doing this training and we go out in the market and apply for the HANA requirements, what exactly would be the expectation from, from the client side? Would it be just modeling and administration in HANA, or what else?
Okay, so the client expectation is basically a solutioning expectation that we see today. As right, so if I say I'm a HANA trained, the client first of all expect the solutioning part. Now, solutioning is of two types. One is the landscape architecture, administrative solutioning, and the other one is the implementation solutioning for business scenarios.
Okay. See, like I'm a web consultant.
Right, so
okay, go on.
yeah, go on.
Yes. See, I'm a web
Yeah, so even for SAP ABAP,
yeah,
even for ABAP, you can write all the baddies and the BAPIs in the SLT for HANA for any kind of transformation rules. You have a SAP NetWeaver 740 AS ABAP for HANA, which you can see all the artifacts of HANA on your ABAP editor, right? And then I will show you the ABAP trigger programs that are associated with SLT. So if I'm an ABAPer, I generally work on something called as SLT for HANA, which is called as SAP Landscape Transformation, where I can use my ABAP programs or standard trigger programs or create function modules in the SLT environment for HANA. So that's a primary area for ABAPers. So we'll see some programs as well. All right. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, because like whatever stuff that I had gone through, they were like looking out for BO or a BW or a BI basically, requirements along with it. So whatever HANA requirements which I saw, it was more on a BO with HANA or BI with HANA with BW experience. So that's why I thought probably I'd ask you what exactly are these.
Yeah. For the roles in the profiles, we have various profiles like BO, HANA report writer, bots, ETL consultant for HANA, and then we have BO administrator, CMC for HANA, especially if you're looking at BO side. Then BI, you have BI consultant for HANA. Then if you're an application consultant but non-BI, non-BO, you have HANA application consultant, HANA basis administrator, HANA security. So there are various roles that are available today in the marketplace when we reach out to apply for for projects. So I will give you the guidance on the various roles that we are expected where we fit in. So if you are in ABAP, you basically, if you like to continue in ABAP, there is an option. Or if you like to learn HANA with the BO or with the BI or with the bots or even with SLT, this is also a new venture that you can take here from this particular training program. So later you can become a HANA consultant with a BOBG experience. If the tools match your passion, then this is also a good platform, because the system access to grant is a complete system access where you can work on any tool and develop the confidence. So that's a good option. All right. Next question is from Patmakar. Okay. I have a question here in the meantime in the questions box. If I miss a class, right, so you'll have to inform the team at least 1 hour before, right, and then you can have the recording done by the team on your behalf if you're if you're going to miss a class or miss a session. Please inform the training team at least 1 hour before, and they will run the recording for you and send the recording after the session. Okay, so that's also. Next question from Anil. You're providing all. Yes, it will be on SP7. We will also see SP8 features. It's newly released just 3 weeks ago, but not productive release, because productive release are the support packs that are used by customers, right? So we'll have access for both. Right, next question. By default, are all the sessions recorded by you? Well, as a trainer, I do not record the sessions, so you can connect with the training team. Basically, the training team, the training staff will perform the recording. But if you are an organizer, all participants with the organizer access, you got to do the recording yourself in your local computers. So you can open that recording anytime, whenever, right? So by default, all the sessions are not recorded. You will have to record it yourself. But if you're going to miss a session, you will have to inform the support staff to run the recording on your behalf at least 1 hour before. They will send you the link to download the recordings. Next question from Ramana. Is the certification based on SP7? Well, it is based on SP05 and 06 for 2013 and SP07 for 2014 editions. So I'll give you more details. All right. So basically, certification examination is up till SP7, but we don't find any SP7 questions till lately. So 2013 edition, 2014 edition, again, there are 2 categories of certification. Hence, I'll give you more details in our final prep certification session. Okay. Padmakar, do you got a question? Well, we're not able to hear you. We're not able to hear you. Okay, you can use the question box just in case if you're not audible. Okay, so you have the contact details on the screen. Just in case if you have further questions, feel free to just drop an email or call them up. Okay, next question from Anuresh is the BW going to be replaced by HANA? So the answer is BW will not, or BW or any SAP application, BW slash any SAP application will not be replaced by HANA. Okay, so that's the answer for the moment. I'll give you more guidance on the offerings of HANA, where the BW or CRM, SRM, ERP systems become much more faster when you run the BW or any of these SAP applications on top of HANA, right? Because these application servers were running on Oracle database, SQL Server database, and these databases were slow performing. Hence, these application servers will work on the HANA platform, right? So a database does not replace an application server. When you are running the BW on Oracle, Oracle did not replace BW, right? Similarly, when you're running the BW on HANA, HANA will not replace BW. In fact, HANA will make the BW more powerful and faster. Okay, I have the next question on technical glitch. Yes, there is a upgrade, a known error. So I'll show you how you perform the workaround whenever you are doing the upgrade for a administrator. So if you're an administrator, there is a SAP Lifecycle Management and SAP SUM, Software Update Manager. If the update manager was not installed by your vendor, you hit into an error which does not allow you to proceed further. So the workaround solution will be shared from a project experience to all of you. Right. Next question from Rakesh: is the SAP HANA DB available on SAP, or is it, yeah, it's available for ERP. Basically, it's called as Business Suite on HANA, okay, including BW and other SAP applications. It's called Suite on HANA, SOH. Right, so there was, yeah, so if you don't have any further questions, we will close the demo for tonight. We will connect same time tomorrow at 9 p.m. EST and start our first session. I thank you all for your time tonight, for attending the demo session, and I look forward to connect with you tomorrow for the first session. So thanks everyone, have a good one. The contact details are available on the screen, and the recording of the demo will be sent out after the session tonight. So take care, and see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.